guys, so I'm going to show you how to create your own hand-drawn pattern. We call these a tessellation. So first thing, you might be familiar now with MC Escher. He is the father of tessellations, and so he was a mathematician and an artist who we're using in one of our discussion of the weeks, and he created this whole concept of almost making puzzle pieces that fit together to create your pattern. And so here's the actual definition. A tessellation is a regular pattern made up of flat shapes repeated, joined together without gaps or overlays. So that's what you're going to be creating. So here are the steps, and I've already done mine. So what I did is I just took pictures of mine as I went through. It would be kind of a long process if I just sat here and did it while I recorded. So I took pictures, so I'm gonna kind of just verbally walk you through what these pictures are. So step one was simply just creating your design itself. Over here, behind me, you can see this is what I started with in my sketchbook. I started with just a square. Okay, so here's a square. And you can do this on any paper, whatever materials you have is fine, just pencil and paper of some kind. With that square, then I started to decide what I wanted to be my design. So I decided I wanted to do some kind of moth for my inspiration this time around. And so I knew that that was gonna be my main focus. So I did a couple sketches. I like this one a little bit better. But I have to make sure that it is going off of the edges on either the top or the bottom, the left and the right, okay? Because that's how it fits together. So notice I put A, B, B, so I know those go together, just like you see here. And I had it go off a little bit right there, as you can see with my mouse. And so then I repeated that, so I almost did like a cutout right here. That'll allow this shape to fit right in there whenever they all come back together, okay? Same thing for AA. I had this leaf and then this other leaf right here, and then a little bit of the wing coming off. And so then I just sketched in basically the same thing on the left side, leaf, leaf, and then a little bit of that wing coming off. So you can see exactly where it is right over here as well. Here's just a different way of showing it, because I think this is probably the most challenging part to understand, is creating that original pattern. So you're starting with the square. If you want to like actually cut it out while you do it, some people like to do that to make sure it's perfect. And so like cut out one side and paste it on the other one. Cut out your top and then paste it on the bottom, and then you know it's always going to fit together. Okay, so that's what I did here. I essentially drew where I was going to cut it out, except for I didn't cut it out, I just traced, and they all fit together. You'll see that in a second. Okay, once you have it pretty well together, then you're gonna take a Sharpie, a pen, something really dark, anything you have, to go ahead and just neatly go over that design, because then you're going to take that piece of paper and you're going to set it underneath a larger piece of paper of some kind, and you're going to trace it 4 times. So what I did is I drew out a square that was about 4 times the size of my original square. I didn't use a ruler. I just kind of estimated. If you have a ruler, great, but it's not necessary. I just kind of adjusted when I traced it. Kimmy's here too. She wants me to dress up her dolls. Okay, and so I put this original drawing.
There's a contest at the mirror.
Let me finish my video, and then I'll.
And the people are making costumes.
I've done this video
for them to wear.
I'm not doing it again, so hopefully you're okay with me getting interrupted a little bit. Okay, so here's the black and white one.
Have their costumes on.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Give me a few minutes, and then you can show me everything.
I'll show you.
Play with your dolls right now, and then you can show me everything. Okay. So I took this piece of paper, I put it underneath my other piece of paper.
Look at her.
I'm sure everyone loves these. So I'm filming. So will you go show Dee Dee right now? Thank you.
Look, Dee.
So take this and then trace it again, trace it again, trace it again. Finally, you should have your design. So now you're just going to outline that, make it neat, clean it up. I do the same thing on all four just to make sure that they're all even. I try not to do like one full square and then one full square. That's how I see if I missed anything. And then hopefully you still have a color scheme that you want to use, and maybe you have something to use for color, colored pencils, markers, paint, highlighters, or if you don't have any color, you can even just shade and do like draw on designs. But you want to give this some kind of life. So here's the colors that I chose. I use markers because I had them, and I started coloring in my the one that I used as a stencil first to make sure I liked it.
Pink ones.
Then I started coloring in my final one. And I did one color at a time, as you see here, to make sure I don't miss anything. And finally, it was all done. This isn't the best quality photo because I took it on my phone, but it looks pretty cool. Here it is, all done. And I could have continued that more than 4, but all I'm looking for is at least 4 finished little parts put together, and there's your final pattern. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Hopefully you enjoyed Emmy showing up. Sorry.